In this video, I'm going to show you how to game share on the Nintendo Switch 2. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up your Switch 2 and you want to make sure you are signed into your Nintendo Online account on both of the consoles that you're working with. So if you're working with like two Nintendo Switches, then make sure you are signed in on both of them. That is really important. Then what you want to do is you want to go to the bottom menu and select over here where it says virtual game cards. So just first of all, load into the account that you're going to be using in order to host. So I'm going to be using the Ant98 account to host right over here. And basically, this has a bunch of games already that I'm going to be using in order to host. I'm using my Switch 2 in order to host. So the way it works is that with Gameshare, you're able to play with friends using only one copy of the game. So only one person is going to own the game, and then other players can join on their own consoles. And this works for a multiplayer only, not solo play. So unfortunately, it's not like Gameshare on the PlayStation 5 or anything like that. Nintendo honestly just makes everything incredibly complicated for some reason. But anyways, what you want to do is you want to find a game that you want to go ahead and host. So let's say, for example, we wanted to host Pac-Man, for example. We can go ahead and select unload on another system right over here. And then go ahead and get your other system and make sure to get your other system and make sure that it is actually connected to the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And as you're able to tell, you are basically able to eject the virtual game card from your current system, in our example, the Nintendo Switch 2, which we're using to host. Then you guys can go ahead and put it onto the other Switch right over here. And you're essentially able to play multiplayer like that. So basically what the other person needs to do is they also need to do a similar process as well. They need to press on virtual game cards, and then you need to make sure you are signed into your account, and you need to find the game that you're working with. Then you need to press on load on this system just like so. And then afterwards, you're able to go ahead and play the game as well. So this will basically prevent you from having to buy the game over and over again if you have multiple like Switch accounts at your household or anything like that. So this feature is only going to work if you're within close proximity to each other and within the same Wi-Fi network. Again, Nintendo really like makes everything incredibly like complicated and limited. So unfortunately, that is just the way it is. But again, if you guys are near each other, you both have consoles, then you should be able to go ahead and use Gameshare. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next tutorial.